And we're back, and I think we're almost done with this route. Good. Good, and judging from the viewers, they're probably, like, good too, because, like, I guess everyone else is tired of this too, looking at the viewer count. I sprinted down the southward bound road next to the lake. There's no way they could have gone 100 kilometers, no reason to preserve my leg strength. There's about 30 kilometers to where I had to go. I couldn't go my full speed, but I was still going very fast. If I couldn't catch Kotori there, I wouldn't be able to go after them anymore. That place was Saza Nemyobashi Ridge, located directly south of here. The giant bridge was connected to an island in the middle of the lake, making it look like some sort of undulating wave. Even ignoring the beautiful landscape, due to its convenience, any Tokyo-bound car would definitely take that route. Calculate how much time I had left. It wouldn't take an hour to get to the bridge from Hewley's house. Since it was late at night, they could be speeding, but I doubt Kotori's father would be that dangerous. Instead, he was very likely obeying the speed limit and driving safely. It was about 30 kilometers to the bridge from the dorm. I was much closer than they were. If I hurry, I can catch up with them. I pedaled as hard as I could. Well, I guess that'll work.
決まってんでしょ。鍵を焼き切るんだよ。焼き切るんだよ。じゃねえよ。危ねえ女だな。何言ってるのよ。叩き壊すより野蛮じゃないし、音も小さくて済むでしょうが。いいのか、ホタル。こんなことに首突っ込んで。青兄たちのためだから。まあ、そういう俺も巻き込まれてるしな。さあ行くよ。時間がもったいない。葵たちが戻ってくる前に準備整えなきゃいけないんだから。というわけなんです。皆さんご協力をお願いします。おお、ついに飛ぶのね。どうしますか、ゆかさん。もちろん手伝わせてもらうわ。そのために早めに帰ってきたんですもの。私もいいよ、朝ちゃん。ありがとうございます、皆さん。いやー、みんなにメールしといてよかったわ。それと懐中電灯か何か手で持てる明かりがあると嬉しいんですけど、どんなのでもいいの？はい、なるべく明るいもので。それならあれがあるじゃないですか、ゆかさん。あれ？あれでよければ余ってるけど。夏の野外ライブが雨で中止になっちゃいましたもんね。そうなのよ。あの時は本当に悔しかったわ。私がどれだけ楽しみにしていたか。朝ちゃん、人でこれだけで足りるの？なんだったらもっと呼べるけど。本当ですか？できればあと数人くらいは。
Why do you need that many? I guess to pull it, maybe?
連絡も回してみるね。ああ、けど夜遅いし大丈夫なんですか？多分ね。ソアリング部がついに飛ぶって言ったらみんな来ると思うよ。そうなんですか？みんな結構期待してたからね。すごいことをやろうとしてるみたいだって。やっぱロマンがあるもんね、空飛ぶのって。みんな頑張ってたから。皆さん、もしもし、あかりちゃん？ごめん、寝てた？起きてた？そう、それ。察しがいいね。うひひ、さてはお主。帰 風がどんどん強くなってる。これは計算した以上だな。あんまり風速がありすぎるとかえって離陸が難しくなるんじゃ。そりゃあそうだな。みんなうまくやってくれてるかしら。大丈夫さ、きっとうまくいくよ。みんないい子たちだからな。根拠になってませんが。けど私もそんな気がします。
Well, I haven't had anything to say in a while.
寝てていいんだよ。
Oh my god, a CG. Dad's car drove quietly through the night roads. I guess I'm narrating her now. I'm not changing my voice for it. Destination was Tokyo, my home.
すまないな、こんな時間に。少しでも早く母さんに会わせたかったんだ。
I highly doubt this is going to be the last CG, but I mean, in case it is, I guess I'll take a picture.
今から帰ればちょうど朝には戻れるだろう。
分かってるよ。私も早くお母さんに会いたい。
母さん、小鳥が帰ったらきっとすぐに元気になってごちそうを作ってくれるぞ。小鳥は何が食べたい？
オムライスかな。
コロッケじゃないのか。小鳥好きだっただろう。
コロッケはね、自分で作れるようになったから。今度は私がお母さんに作って食べさせてあげたい。
おお、それは楽しみだな。もちろんお父さんの分もあるんだろう。
どうしよっかななんて。
He was laughing. It seemed to be coming from the heart. It wasn't forced at all. He was genuinely happy. That made me a little happier. My little chit-chat was over as quickly as it started. All I heard was the awful sound of the tires against the asphalt. I opened my cell phone to try and distract myself from the silence. I saw a sign just now. The morning glory is coming tomorrow morning. Stared blankly at the message. It was the last one I got from the person I love.
危ないな。深夜だからって無茶な運転をして。大丈夫か、小鳥？
平気。
ああいう輩がいるから交通事故がなくならないんだ。まったく。
窓開けていい？
エアコンが強かったかい？
そうじゃないの。風に当たりたいだけ。
After opening the window, I looked up at the sky, and it was completely black. In that black sky, though, I knew the passage of clouds was slowly but surely being made. A sign. The morning glory's a sign. Morning glory's sign. The sky I had been longing for all this time. If I was in this town for just one more day, just tomorrow morning, I would be able to see it. However, this car was taking me further and further from Kazugawa every second.
今どのあたり？
もう少ししたらさざ波大橋が見えてくる。ほら、前に通った大きな橋、覚えてないか？
ああ、あの綺麗な橋。
Large bridge that spanned over a lake. That was the exit out of Kazugawa. Soon I'll be leaving the town that I grew to love so much. Could you do that? Is that Aoi? I almost forgot what he looked like. Go to school, go back home, and live like that? I'd never seen that picture of him before. I forgot he even had a face. I thought he was like one of those bland characters that just like had a shadow over their face. Chill went down my spine as I remembered those words. That was the cruelest thing that he ever said to me. It didn't matter when he said it to me. Today or even a year ago. Either way, it was the cruelest thing.
ねえ、お父さん。
なんだい？
なんでもない。
I'm completely different from a year ago. Alright, yep. I have tons of memories now. In my heart there was an album of memories of all the days I spent with everyone. Might be no future for me there, but I can relive those moments just by opening that album. So I'll be fine. I have to do this. Because if I don't, Mom and Dad will probably be fine.
私頑張ったんだよ。お父さん頑張って上手になって本当にグライダーを操縦したんだよ。
ああ。
何百メートルも高いところに上がって、それですごく楽しかったんだよ。
楽しいことならまた見つかる。もっと安全な遊びが。違うんだよ。
そうじゃないの。グライダーで飛ぶ楽しさは他じゃ変えられないんだよ。
We had the same conversation over and over. My father just continued to drive quietly with a sad look on his face.
ほら、見えてきたぞ。あの橋が。
Why is it built like that? Like, why is it, like, swerving all over the place? Why didn't they just make it straight? I guess it's on some rocks over there, but, like, I mean, I guess, sure. It just seems like a big waste of resources to have it built like that when you could just build, like, some of those supports and have it just go straight across.
お願い、お父さん。
小鳥。
He looked at me again with sad eyes.
辛いだろうけれど、それは今だけだ。向こうで暮らせば、きっとすぐ忘れられる。
I wonder, can I really throw away my dreams and live like nothing had happened?
友達だって向こうでまたできるさ。
The car slowly carried me over the bridge. Once I crossed it, there'd be no going back. I was leaving the town that I had once hated, the town that I now loved. What was that camera angle? Suddenly I saw something in the side mirror. Oh, I guess I was supposed to be there. Oh my god, they're playing the music again. Is that a bicycle?
お父さん、止めて。
え？なんだって？
いいから止めて。お
Oh,
願い。
this is different music. No, never mind. Still good music. I still like this one. I think, isn't this song at the end of every road? I guess it is.
バカを言うな。こんなところで一体どうして？
Open the door, force him to stop.
お父さん。
Open the door. Just a little more. I was almost at the top of the hill. Once I got there, a long downhill ride was waiting for me. The bicycle was in good condition, but my legs weren't. The tailwind that was helping me move was like some sort of miracle. Only a bit more, come on. It took more time than I thought. But if I just made it up to the top, finally I reached the peak of the hill. I tried to catch my breath as I pedaled across the flat hilltop. After about 10 meters or so, I'll be going downhill. I could suddenly see it right before my eyes, the wide lake and the bridge going right across it. There it is. Picked up my pace. Using energy I did not know my body still had, I pedaled down the hill. Stooped forward and the bicycle accelerated. Downhill, yes, we know. Tearing through the wind was an incredible thrill. I knew I'd probably die if I fell, but I wasn't scared. On the way down the hill, I passed a slow-moving car. This was a car that had passed me going uphill just a few minutes ago. Kept pedaling. Bicycle kept accelerating. The bridge begins at the bottom of the hill, and there they are. Kotori, I'm not yelling it. Perfect timing. The familiar station wagon passed through an intersection only a mere 30 meters ahead of me. Final sprint. The hill ended and I pedaled across the flat land after the station wagon. Kotori. I pushed with every ounce of my body and put my bicycle in front of the station wagon. I could hear the brakes squeal as the car came to a halt. As soon as I saw it stop, I hit the brakes on my bike. And then, my bicycle fell to the ground and I went with it. I laid upon the asphalt trying to catch my breath.
君、大丈夫か?
Kotori's father got out of the car, pulled my body up, struggling to stand on my shaking knees.
君は
Kotori, seeing her face, a feeling of relief came over me that nearly sent my knees buckling down again. Father came over to help me, but I grabbed the bridge handrail and lifted myself up before he could. Kotori looked at me, completely unable to believe what was right before her eyes. Because I'm the main character. I pulled a crumpled piece of paper that until moments ago was in the shape of an airplane, and showed it to Kotori. I saw your SOS. Kotori's eyes began to swell with tears. Habane-san, please don't take Kotori back home.
それを言うために追いかけてきたのか?
Yeah, 1v1 me. Please.
言ったはずです。これは私たち家族の問題だと。
I heard about your wife, about her collapsing.
それを知っていて、まだそんなことを。
Because I couldn't let this happen to Kotori. You told me on the phone, remember how Kotori lying to you was your own fault? Kotori doesn't hate you, even now she still deeply cares about you. Despite all that, she lied to you. Don't you understand now why she did that? I was basically pleading at this point.
だからこうして、その間違いを正し、また元の家族に戻ろうとしているんじゃないか。
To fix what? Nothing needs fixing. Nothing happened. Do you want... Oh my goodness, I accidentally turned up the volume. Hold on, how do I turn down? Okay. Do you want her to lie to you again? This paper airplane was an SOS from Kotori. This was the only way she could ask for help. You have to try to understand what she wants. She never said that by phone or messages. Everything Kotori was saying indicated that she was going to go back home. Except for this paper airplane. She couldn't hide her true feelings. That would have been betraying herself. Folding this paper airplane was an SOS from Kotori's heart. Kotori said that if she was able to fly through the morning glory, that she will have taken back her future. Right, whether or not she'll think she'll be able to realize her dreams or not in the future. That's a weird sounding sentence. You said it yourself, didn't you? How she can't have dreams that normal people have.
それは本当のことだ。あなたにだって分かっているでしょう。小鳥が普通の人のように何かをするのがどれほど大変か。
She was literally flying an airplane. I silently nodded. Of course I knew that. I had been beside her all this time.
小鳥が身に余るほどの目標を叶えようとした時、どれほどの困難が待っているか。きっと傷つき、苦しみ、大きな挫折を味わうに決まっている。
Heart-wrenching way in which he spoke made it seem as if he might have seen Kotori like that time and time again. No, he had to have seen it. He had seen his daughter struggle to recuperate after the accident. So what does that even mean? Kotori isn't afraid of those things at all. Even after the accident, after losing the ability to use her legs, geez. After all that, she still wants to fly. Doesn't that mean anything?
しかし、それは。
Sure, she's handicapped, she cries easily, she's scared of strange things, but if you just look at her, you'll think she's fragile, but she has never turned her back on her goal. She's been courageously pressing forward this whole time. Aren't you just stopping her to prevent your own fears, your own worries? It's not the same as loving your daughter. Kotori interrupted what I was saying. I snapped back to reality and shut my mouth. However, her father already knew what I was trying to say. Regardless of what I said, as honest as it may have been, was surely intensely painful for him to hear. If you're gonna take Kotori back to Tokyo, there's nothing I can do to stop you. And it is a family problem. Kotori is still only a student, she can't live completely separated from her parents. But before that, can't you let her fly just once? Let us show you let us show you that what we have all been working towards hasn't been for nothing, please. Kotori began to get out of the passenger seat by herself. Unable to use her legs, she was hanging onto the door as she began to fall out of the car.
Kotori!
He ran over and caught his daughter.
Kimi! 車椅子を
Alright. I unloaded the wheelchair from the back of the station wagon. Kotori's father gently sat her into it. Watching him do it, I could tell he was a caring parent. As she was being held in her father's arms, she put a hand to his chest and said,
お父さん、私本当に飛んだんだよ。空を雲に手が届きそうなくらい高く。
ああ
すごく気持ちよくて楽しくて、そこで私は体が不自由な女の子じゃなくなるの。
でもそれはたくさんの人たちが小鳥のために手助けをしてくれたからだろ。
Yeah, but it's not like Kotori is special. I decided to break the silence. No one can fly a glider by themselves. You need someone to man the winch, someone to hold the wingtip, someone to do maintenance, someone to make it. So many people are needed to make it fly.
ねえお父さん、飛ばせて。私飛びたいの。最後に一度だけでいい。そしたらおとなしく家へ帰るから。
小鳥
Looking at his beloved daughter, Mr. Habane shook his head.
お父さん、私今飛ばないと一生自分に嘘をついて暮らしていくことになる。
You know what would be a really like funny twist? If the father was just like no and just left. That would be a pretty cool ending. You know, something not 100% predictable.
もう二度と自分の翼では飛べなくなっちゃう。この先ずっとただ見上げて暮らすなんて嫌なの。
Your father quietly closed his eyes. And quietly... well, I guess I'll take a drink.
組み立て急ぐよー。パイロットが到着し次第すぐ飛ぶからね。
Wait.
風強いから気をつけて。翼になるべく正面から風が当たらないようにね。はい。お手伝いの人も気をつけてくださいね。人がいっぱいでなんかお祭りみたいだね。あなたが集めたんでしょ。だってみんな見たいだろうと思って。あかりちゃんだってそうでしょ。そりゃこんな面白いこと見逃す手はないわ。だよね。
Where's the hee-hee?
夜食のおにぎりできました。手の空いた人から食べてってください。梅干し、おかか、塩昆布あります。
俺おっかか。ホタルは何にする？
じゃあ梅干し。皆さんもどうぞ。夜明けまであとどのくらい？54分。ギリギリね。パイロットも届けばね。組み立て完了しました。係留しっかりした？よし、じゃあ皆さん集まってください。これから発行手順を説明しますので。いいですか？ゴム柵を引っ張る役の人はあさちゃんチームとよるちゃんチームに分かれてもらいます。私が発行準備開始って言ったらゴム柵を持ってください。その後は一歩ずつあさちゃんよるちゃんと歩幅を合わせて引いていってもらいます。で、グライダーが離陸した後なんですが。あれはアゲハ先輩、青い先輩たち到着しました。
But like, where's the cliff that they're throwing it off? I didn't know there was a cliff anywhere around here. unsteadily lowered myself in the back of Anchan's truck. My knees were still shaking. That sprint had used up all my energy. I could hardly use my legs. Ugh, I have been skipping out on practice way too much. Hey, Gaya, could you help Kotori get down? Anchan had heard the message I left him and was able to bring Kotori and me here in his truck. After all, Kotori's father wasn't exactly ready to allow this. Thanks for coming, Anchan.
いや、俺こそすぐ電話に出られなくてすまなかったな。
おかえりなさい、小鳥先輩。
Why does everyone happen to be up in the middle of the night?
ただいま。たくも心配させやがって。ごめんね、みんな。
After getting into her wheelchair, Kotori came over to me.
足大丈夫？
Yeah, they're just a little tired, but it feels like I can barely move, so I'm gonna have to ask you to pilot. I said it half serious and half trying to be motivating, and it did manage to make Kotori smile. That doesn't look like a smile.
小鳥、ちゃんと元気そうだな。あまねちゃん。
Kotori's mood suddenly picked up when she saw Amane running towards us waving.
待ってたんだぞ。二人が帰ってくるのを。ごめんね、待たせちゃって。本当だわ。どれだけ私たちにやきもきしたか。
Behind the wry comments of Amane and Yoru were expressions of relief. Hey, it's looking like a festival or something. Crowd of 50 or so people. Why is everyone up in the middle of the night? Did you just wake up the whole town? Crowd of 50 or so people had gathered around our secret base. Crowd was growing more and more excited, looking somewhat like a group tour that had gotten lost.
かなこさんが声をかけてくれたんです。皆さん、私たちのフライトを見てみたいって。この人たち全部？
Well, you better hope we don't just nosedive off the cliff.
期待されてますよ、私たち。
Kotori looked at everyone dumbfounded.
はいはい、考えにふけってる時間はないよ。天音先輩、フライトプランの変更点を2人に説明してやってください。おお、そうだと。
Akihiko left us with Amane and went off to instruct the crowd. She began to explain all sorts of things to them.
ねえ、滑走路へ行かなくていいの？
Oh yeah, I forgot. I hadn't told Kotori about the broken winch. The truth is...
飛びをかめ、許すまじ。でも、それならどうやって飛ぶの？
Through the power of friendship.
ここから飛ぶんだ。
Amane spread her arms out wide.
この丘から。
But where's the cliff?
どうやって？
That looks so uneven. It looks like the nose is gonna like hit a small bump and crumple. Amane began to explain the takeoff procedures to a confused looking Kotori.
マジなのそれ？ああ、マジだ。
Kotori gave me a worried look. Don't worry, if Amane says we can do it, we can.
そうね。あまねちゃんがそう言うなら大丈夫よね。二人ともコックピットに乗って。
Alright.
了解。
Preparing our parachutes, we got into the cockpit. Check the operation system.
右エルロン、OK。左エルロン、問題なし。
Aileron. My pre-flight nerves were slowly increasing. Suddenly,
小鳥ちゃん。
Hibari had come running up to the cockpit.
ひばりね、どうしてここに？
Man, look at all these CGs. Where the heck were they the past, like, 2 episodes or parts? I asked her to come. I wanted her to see what you were doing.
お姉ちゃん、ここで見てるから。だから、気をつけてね。
Hibari looked a little pale. She really seemed like she wanted to stop Kotori. Saying nothing, she let her little sister go. Kotori laughed and gave a thumbs up.
任せて。私のかっこいいところ見せてあげる。
We'll try our hardest not to crash into the lake and have her drown. Hibari gave a subtle smile to her little sister and walked away from the cockpit. Ageha then came over to talk to us.
発行の手順は天音先輩から聞いたよね。ゴム柵が伸びきったら私が合図を出すからブレーキを離して。そしたら走り出すから。了解。かなり難しい離陸になるけど大丈夫？
Ageha asked in an uneasy tone.
いけると思う。イメージはもうつかめたわ。わかった。信じてるよ、小鳥。
Saying that, Ageha closed the canopy. She flashed me a look. Seemed as if she was asking me to take care of Kotori should anything happen. I silently nodded in response. Well, let's just hope we don't land in the lake. As the dome came down over the cockpit, all the outside noises seemed to drift far away, leaving us in a world of our own. Kotori put a hand to her chest and took a deep breath. She seemed nervous.
迎えに来てくれてありがとう。
It was a faint whisper, but I could still hear her. I replied to her in a doubtful tone. Honestly, I didn't know if this was going to go okay. I did. This is like Lily's route.
私も。
We still didn't have her father's understanding. We were able to explain ourselves and bring her here.
でも。
Kotori looked up at the sky. Wow, the sun sure rose fast. Only a little bit more until dawn. It looks like dawn right now. The sky slowly brightened and the silhouette of the giant cloud dimly came into view.
今しかないから。
Yeah, you're right. This was the first time Morning Glory had appeared in Kasugawa in 27 years. If we miss this chance, who knows when we'll have another. Man, that frame rate is so good.
発行準備開始します。皆さん、配置についてください。
What? As Ageha started issuing instructions, the crowd of people began to move. It broke up into two groups and readied their upper cord. Are we going up the hill? Ageha then tied the cord to the hooks underneath the glider. The connecting piece was located in the middle of the long rubber cord. From there, they stretched the cord to the left and the right. On each side, one led by Asa, the other led by Yoru. Numbers of people lined up holding onto it. The sides were, of course, not stretching out directly left and right of the glider. There were slight diagonals. This way the people pulling the cord would not get hit by the glider. Problem is, in order for the glider to fly straight, both sides need to be at the exact same angle and use the exact same power. Asa and Yoru's positioning were such that their strides would be in sync. As they were twins, they had almost the exact same physique, even down to the breathing. Ageha tapped on the canopy. What? I nodded and Ageha responded with a thumbs up. I could hear cries of good luck from the crowd.
それでは引っ張りますよ。
The rubber cord was pulled back one step. Another step. The cord was slowly stretching. All the while the glider remained firmly planted to the ground. Wheel stoppers were in place and the tires were hooked into them. When Kotori releases the brake, the tires will release from them and begin to move. Everyone's tension seemed to be increasing just like the rubber cords. Hibari was watching from over by the canopy with a worried look on her face.
お父さんにも見てほしかったな。
Well, I feel like you probably will. You're gonna be up in the sky. I think we were able to explain Kotori's feelings to her father. He hadn't given his blessing, however. It's terrifying. The memories of his daughter falling from the hot air balloon must still haunt him. Yeah, well, it's a good thing this isn't a balloon. The wind rolling up the hill became stronger and stronger. It began to make the wings tremble. Glider was shaking as if it was ready to fly any moment. Concentrate, hold on to the control stick tightly. Don't think about anything other than flying right now.
了解。
Then at that moment, a single station wagon climbed to the top of the hill. The car stopped in front of the secret base, and a man in a suit climbed out of the driver's side.
小鳥
お父さん。
Nagaya stopped her counting when she saw Kotori's father. Had he come to stop the flight? Oddly, he wasn't coming over to the cockpit. He had stopped walking and was watching from a distance. He walked over and joined him. Nagaya threw a confused look over to us. Where'd the music go? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay.
作準備よし。行け、小鳥。
Kotori released the brake. Look at that. It looked like we went to light speed for a second. The cord began to pull back and the glider began to move. We gained speed and ran down the hill, even though it clearly showed us going uphill. Kotori pulled on the control stick. The wings began to lift up and the glider took flight.
おお
よし、行け。飛んでください。
So I guess we just threw the whole cliff idea out the window. It was only a few meters, but it was just high enough. Kotori instantly returned the control stick to neutral and then pushed it forward slightly. The glider began to fly parallel to the hill, declining almost as if it was slipping. Oh, okay, good cameras.
離陸成功だ。
Those are some good camera angles. The glider flew parallel to the hill and began to pick up speed like it was coasting. It cut right through the headwind. This is right in the middle of Windmill Hill. The path was made from all the wind blowing into the crescent-shaped hill. The strength of that headwind was enough to lift up the glider.
やった、飛んだ。嘘みたい。あんな方法で。
Don't get excited just yet. We had pointed the glider downwards in order to pick up speed, and it cost us a lot of altitude. Now we need to get back up, otherwise we'll never get to the top of the clouds.
分かってるって。
He wasn't even saying that out loud, was he? Oh no, she was responding to the don't get excited thing.
皆さん、急いで移動してください。
Why?
すぐに戻ってきますからね。
Why don't we just land at the airfield? I mean, we don't need the winch for that. I mean, I wouldn't want to land on this.
ライトをまだもらってない人、取りに来てください。お父さん、ひばりさん。
ん
どうしたの、朝ちゃん。これ、よかったらどうぞ。サイリウム？
どうしてこんなものを
The glider had made it down the hill safely, but now was heading towards the lake. In the pre-dawn darkness, the lake looked like a cavernous darkness. We flew right over that hole. We were just high enough, but our altitude wasn't right just yet. You were just high enough, but the altitude wasn't right. Okay. Kotori, make a U-turn.
了解。
Kotori pulled the control stick sideways. Glider began to turn. Watch out for height loss, speed as well.
分かってる。
Being careful not to lose precious speed, Kotori made a sharp turn. However, there was still a loss.
速度足りるかな。
Thanks to the glide effect, we won't descend that much, I think. But we're above a lake. In the off chance we do crash, it won't be pretty, like I was saying earlier. Our speed hasn't decreased that much, however, now we had a different tailwind. As our speed decreased, so does our ability to rise.
目標は？
Well, can't see it yet. Windmill Hill, which was where we launched from, was now nothing but a silhouette. Could barely make out the ridge line through the light of the sky that was peering through, but telling the distance was nearly impossible. It looked like it was already, it looked like the sun was already coming up a couple images ago. Even worse, up, down, left, right, front, back, everywhere was pitch black. We had no sense of direction. Don't get confused by how it looks. Pay attention to the instruments. When the range of sight is limited by thick fog or clouds, flying by the instruments is the only option. If you rely on poor vision, illusions will cause a loss of feel for your true positioning. However, since Kotori doesn't have much flight experience, she still isn't used to looking at the instruments. I supported Kotori as we waited for our target to appear. At that moment... What? Oh, the lights. Okay, was that supposed to help us? I guess it'll help us get our bearings a little bit. A small light twinkled within the darkness. As we moved on, we saw a line of lights going up the hill. Everyone who had gathered was holding a light, making a pathway for us. This was another part of Amane's flight plan. Creating this trail of light was another reason for all the people with lights. It was another reason for all the people... Okay, with lights were assembled. That sounds weird. Once the target was determined, Kotori would be able to fly there without the risk of making a mistake. Glider was making its way back to Windmill Hill, where it launched from. When nearing the hill, raise the pitch. Kotori pulled on the control stick. As she did, the glider felt as if it was being raised from below. The glider began to ride the lift. It began to rise higher and higher, fueled by the strong wind. This lift was different from a vertical draft. This wind, a slope drift, was a strong upward sloping wind coming from between the hill and the mountains. This was the wind that went up the face off the hill, the wind that powered the windmills, the wind that we felt as we walked on the hill. The glider continued to accelerate and rise higher. We went past the many small lights that were down below us. We couldn't make them out individually, but those were all lights held one by one for us. Watch out, you're gonna run into the windmill. Follow the trail of lights, we wouldn't hit the windmill. However, who knows what would happen if there was a mistake. Riding on the slope lift, the glider slipped past the group of windmills, and in the blink of an eye, we flew over the hill and began to rise higher and higher, headed towards the dimly breaking dawn. Drink time.
近くで見るとすごい迫力だったね。あんなにスピードが出ているものなのね。
ちっくしょう。なんかむちゃくちゃかっこよかったんだけど、あいつら。
青兄はいつもかっこいいよ。あーちゃん、これもういいの？ありがとう、ホタル。
That's it? Wouldn't it still be helpful until the sun, really rises?
皆さんもご協力ありがとうございました。グライダーは無事離陸に成功しました。ゆかさん、サイリウムありがとうございました。おかげで超助かりました。
役に立ってよかったわ。
でも、なんでこんなにいっぱいサイリウム持ってたんですか？ゆかさん、某アイドルグループの追っかけやってるから。
コンサートの必需品だからね。1回のコンサートで20本以上使う時もあるし、いつもストックしてあるのよ。
はあ、なるほど。あ
れを小鳥が操縦しているのか。
そうみたい。お父さんとひばりさんもお手伝いしてくださってありがとうございました。
いや、私たちは。
あっちに夜食のおにぎりあるんで、どうぞ食べてってください。
お嬢さん、小鳥のためにこんなに大勢の人が協力してくださったのですか？
え
え。あの子を飛ばせてやるために。
いやー、それはどうかな。別に小鳥のためってわけじゃないかも。多分みんな 自分がやりたいからやってるんです。うちの学校そういう物好き多いし。
Where's the haha?
私だってそうですよ。小鳥が飛ぶところを見たかっただけです。
はあ。
お父さん言ってましたよね。空を飛んだからなんだと言うんだって。今飛び立っていた2人を見て何も感じませんでしたか？
いや、それは
感じたと思うわ。にひひ。じゃあ期待しててください。これからもっとすごいことが起こりますから。
After flying off high from Windmill Hill, we were able to see our next goal, Mount Tsukubai, looming over the school in the distance. At this altitude, we should be able to make it, and be careful of crosswinds since the current is rough. Kotori?
了解。
Oh, what's wrong? Are you tired?
違うよ。さっきの光の中にお父さんもいたのかなって。
Yeah, I wonder too. But I think he's there. I mean, he was there for takeoff. This is why he came, right?
そうだといいな。
Hey, the nose is descending. Be careful. Want to show me what you can do?
この1年で私も成長したんだってところを見せたい。
Mount Tsukubai was coming closer and closer. This was the moment of truth of our flight plan. Our next goal is to ride a giant current known as a mountain wave. If we can do that, getting to the top of the cloud should be no problem. Problem was, how do we ride the mountain wave? A mountain wave is a wave of air that is created by wind going over a mountain. They're located fairly high and have a rotor-like turbulence below them. By entering the upper part of the turbulence, it should be possible to get to the mountain wave. Turbulence is incredibly unstable, however. It's a difficult maneuver. Looks like we're going into this unrehearsed. Realizing what I had said, Kotori braced herself. Originally, we had planned to practice this. If only that accident hadn't happened.
見て、青い。
The eastern sky was becoming brighter and brighter. It would soon be dawn. Let's hurry. Well, you're a bit late this time.
何何。うわ、ここで来るのかよ。
貴様ら、こんなところで何をしている？
あのですね、先生。これは
ソアリング部には活動停止を言い渡したはずだぞ。
ええ、まあそうなんですが。どうしよう。何どうしたの？飛岡先生。
くごい。お前、生徒会長のくせにどうして止めない？
彼らが行っているのはただの部活動です。止める理由がありません。
何をバカな。こいつらには活動停止を命じてある。
初耳ですが。それにお言葉ですが、飛岡先生の一存で部活動を制限するような権限はお持ちでなかったと思いますが。
何？
ですので我々生徒会としましてはどうすることもできません。
ならこいつらが破損させた体育倉庫の鍵はどうなる？
それも初耳ですが、何か証拠が？
証拠ならそこにグライダーが。
グライダー？そんなのどこにあるんですか？
ここにはそんなのないよね。
貴様ら、調べればすぐにわかることだ。覚悟しろよ。
自分だってうんちを壊したくせに。あれだって調べれば犯人がわかるかもしれないわね。私たち処分を受ける覚悟はできてます。だから今日だけは見逃してください。
できるわけないだろう、そんなこと。
Well, it's a bit late.
そうでもないと思いますよ。何せここには何の証拠もないのですから。
じゃあ一体ここで何をやってるんだ。
みんなで空の観察です。今から面白い雲が見られるそうなんで、先生もご一緒に見ていかれますか？
あんまり騒ぐんじゃないぞ。いいな。
なんとか追い返したわね。あかりさん、ありがとうございました。
あかりさん、かっこよかった。
Whoops.
ついカッとなってしまったわ。たまにはいいんじゃない？ストレス溜め込むのは体に毒だよ。それより2人は今どこに？プラン通りならそろそろ山岳波に乗っている頃ですけど。乗ったみたい。
Yeah, it does. Suddenly, just as the trembling stopped, the glider began to rise with almost no recoil at all. Felt as if gravity had disappeared.
ウェーブリフト。
Wave lifto. As we rode our winds up higher and higher, we reached a part of the sky that seemed like it had a mountain wave, and there's no picture. There was a sudden change from the rough turbulence to a stillness. Oh no, there is a picture. There's like a small line right there, and up there too. It was peaceful, but the altimeter kept on rising. I don't know how to pronounce that. We rose higher into the sky, almost as if we were no longer flying by wind. I don't really feel any shaking at all.
怖いくらい静かだわ。
A mountain lift is a strong wind that goes over mountains and is caused by the up and down rippling of winds, as you told us not even 5 minutes ago. Stretches to a few times the size of the mountain itself. World record for the highest flying glider, which made it to the stratosphere, used a mountain lift. Mount Tsukubai isn't a particularly large mountain, but if we can get to an altitude of 2,000 meters, it will be enough. However, there's no guarantee that there will be a mountain wave. The condition is entirely dependent on the wind that is blowing. Today, though, I was confident that it would appear. It was related to the way Amane derived that morning glory would appear in Kazagawa. Mountain waves are known to appear along with strange cloud formations, are they? Okay, that's weird. Her hypothesis is that morning glory is created by the mountain waves from Mount Tsukubai, which basically means when morning glory appears, there's no chance that there wouldn't be mountain waves. The pre-dawn sky, while still dark, was beginning to show some strange colors as the light came through. Before we knew it, we reached our target altitude. Yep, those are certainly clouds. Below us, we could see the silhouette of the cloud passage. Spent a moment staring in amazement at its massive size. Wow. Did you guys bring a camera? This wasn't the mistake that we saw a year ago, this was the real thing. That moment, rays of light began to come from the east. It's dawn. The morning sun broke through the darkness and began to light up the sky. Wow, the frame rate's actually pretty good. What's going on? This is weird. That was weird. The light began to color the view. It really is. That's not what I'd call coloring. A giant cloud began to sparkle. Kotori whispered with a sense of amazement. Yep. I didn't know what else to say. I could feel tears beginning to form in my eyes. Okay. It wasn't a feeling of joy or sorrow or even fun. A more fundamental feeling began to fill my heart and my tears began to overflow. I was overwhelmed and, for a moment, at a complete loss for words. Did you bring the camera?
行くよ葵。
Alright. Kotori pulled down the control stick, leaving the wave lift and aiming us at the passenger clouds.
見てるわよ姉さん。すごいね、綺麗だね。神々しいって言葉がぴったりくるわね。あれが望月先輩がずっと追い続けていた。そうみたい。追いかけちゃう気持ちわかるかも。
おお、何あれ、マジすげえ。
お兄たちもうあそこまで飛んだのかな。
あれがいつかが行きたがってた空なんだな。
ああ、葵くんたちがいつかの夢をあそこまで運んでくれた。
いい後輩を持ったな俺たち。
ああ、綺麗ね。
ああ、しかし何なんだあの雲は。まるで奇跡でも見ているようだ。
モーニンググローリーです。
モーニンググローリー。
風ヶ浦の空に数十年に一度現れる不思議な雲。私も本物を見たのは初めてです。
小鳥はあの雲を近くで見たいからグライダーで飛んでいったんですか？
近くで見る？いえいえ、そうじゃないですよ。
ん？
飛ぶんです。あの上を。あの雲の回廊を渡るために必死で登っていったんです。
あの上を渡る？
はい。
信じられん。
多分今頃到着してるはずですよ。
今あそこに小鳥が。
Hello. Okay. Glider had ground through that passage of clouds. It sparkled in an array of colors from the gradients of light that the dawn was bringing. It was completely surreal. For a moment, almost as if we had forgotten how to speak, we did nothing but let out sighs of admiration.
葵。
Huh.
私たちついにやったんだね。
Yeah, we did. Now can I go on to the next route? I thought I would be happier. However, being here, that was not what I felt. Overwhelmed by its majesty, I felt nothing but gratitude towards this miracle. That actually looks really nice. The glider held its altitude and passed through the clouds. Man, look at that lens flare. This path of clouds is created by rolling air currents. Thanks to these rolling air currents, even an unpowered glider can maintain flight in it for long periods of time. Quickly flip the radio on.
聞こえる？
小鳥？聞こえてるよ。ちょっと電波が悪いみたいだけど。そっちどう？今どのあたり？
乗ったよ、モーニンググローリーに。今その上を渡ってるところ。
Well, that's not really going through it.
よし。みんな、小鳥たち、今あの上にいるって。
Could you like move the mic away from your mouth when you're yelling? Through the radio, we can hear everyone's cheers.
どんな気分？
なんて言ったらいいかわからない。奇跡の中にいる気分。
葵？ねえ、葵はどうなの？
It feels like I've died and gone to heaven.
こらこら、縁起のないこと言うな。
Not really, though. That's what it feels like. I can't believe this is really happening. Where's the other part of the tail? It's like it's supposed to be in like a V, but I only see that one. Don't say it's behind that because that you will be able to see at least some of it.
下から見てもすごいんだもん。上からだともっとすごいんでしょうね。ゆっくり楽しんできてよ。
ありがとうアゲハ。みんなも
土産話期待してるからね。通信終わり。
As soon as our radio was turned off, the cockpit went silent. At that moment, whoa. What? The sun began peeking above the horizon, its rays lighting up the sky. I thought it did that already. As it rose, the top of the clouds began to have a golden glow. Oh yeah.
こんなにすごい場所だなんて思ってなかった。想像を絶するってこういうことを言うのね。
You forgot the camera, didn't you? Oh, no one could imagine this. This view is outstanding.
ねえ、葵。
Huh.
ここまで連れてきてくれてこの場所へ来られたことはきっと一生の誇りだわ。
It's going to be. It's not right now. Just it's going to be later. Don't be ridiculous. You made it here yourself.
でも葵がいなきゃ無理だった。みんなも。
Did you find it? What you had lost?
多分。
Then that's good.
私の人生も捨てたもんじゃないね。
Our glider continued to fly on and on through that dreamlike scenery. On and on until the morning sun dissolved the illusion. Is it over? Yeah, it's over. Whoops. Okay, well I think we saw that already anyway. Is there anything after that? Yeah, it looks like it is. Well, there is. Asa, do you think we can wait over there? Okay, I'm ready. 1, 2. Thump. I hung the white sheets over the clothesline. A few tugs and they were all set.
相変わらず精が出ますな。
Is that you, Agaya?
こんにちは、アゲハ先輩。こんにちは。チース。
What'd you come here for?
いやー、家にいると店の手伝いやらされるから逃げてきちゃった。
You okay? Your grandma's gonna get angry again.
課題を一緒にやるって言って出てきたから平気。しかしなんですな。みんなが学校行ってる時に家にいると時の流れがゆったりだよね。
I've been able to catch up on my work, so I guess that's good. One day in September, summer vacation is over and the second semester has begun. But we didn't go to school. After we broke into the gym storeroom to take back the glider, the entire soaring club was suspended.
悪い子になったみたいで、なんだかドキドキします。なんで私まで部員じゃないのに。
Excluding Yogu, everyone not in the club who helped out did not get suspended. Honestly, I felt it was a little anticlimactic. I was really prepared for a stricter punishment. Despite the results, it felt like our summer vacation was extended and we spent the suspension time relaxing.
小鳥から連絡は？
She called yesterday. She seems to be doing fine.
さあ、なんだかんだで実家の居心地はいいのかね。
That's right, it seems like she's getting on by herself these days.
ねえ、一緒に課題やろうよ。私たちもやります。私はもう終わらせたけど、ここにいても暑いだけだから付き合うわ。
Sure, no problem. I just hung out the sheets, so hold on a minute.
あいよ
The white sheets shone against the pure blue sky. That day, we flew through the morning glory. Looking at the clear sky, I would never have thought it could really have happened. Passage of clouds across the sky. We flew through that miracle-like place in the sky, and you flew over it. You didn't really fly through it. Soon the passage of clouds melted away to the rays of the rising sun. After watching it to the very end, we returned to the runway. By that you mean the extremely rough hill. A crowd of people had been waiting on the runway for our return. Everyone gathered around the cockpit. I got out first and pushed over Kotori's wheelchair, which someone had prepared for us. While I was getting the wheelchair ready, I unbuckled Kotori and got her out. After realizing how ordinary they were acting, they both laughed. Yay! They high-fived. Hey, Kotori, you came too, huh?
やっぱすげえなお前らは。マジで痺れたぜ。
Thanks.
今度
Okay.
俺たちも乗せてくれよな。
What was he thanking him for? Next time, let us take it for a flight. Why did I read that? That's him talking. Anytime. Akari.
先生方に逆らってあなたたちを承認した私の目に狂いはなかったわね。
Well, I'm glad we could prove ourselves. Everyone came by wanting to say something. I saw Anchan at the edge of the crowd. Anchan. Waving my hand at him, he sheepishly entered our crowd. Anchan, did you see it?
ああ、もちろんだ。かっこよかったぞ、葵。
After being complimented, I could feel myself begin to blush. Okay.
ありがとな。
Thanks.
こっちのことだよ。
Saying that, he started to pat me on the head. I'm not a kid.
悪い悪い。つい癖でな。
He did it again. Stop it. Lots of people I had never seen before kept coming up and saying how amazing and wonderful it was. Kotori and I felt overjoyed to be able to share this moment with so many people. After a while, when the crowd's energy had subsided...
Kotori.
お父さん。
Her father and Hibari walked over to her.
すまなかった。空を飛びたいというお前の真剣な気持ちを遊びだと言ってすまなかった。
Kotori's father gave her a deep apologetic bow.
お父さん。
ひばりと一緒に見ていたよ。お前が飛ぶ姿とあの美しい空を。
There was a sparkle of excitement in his eyes. He seemed to be just as excited as everyone else in the crowd.
私はお前にまた嘘をつかせてしまうところだったんだな。
そんなことない。お父さんは私のことを思って言ってくれてたんだもん。
Her father shook his head.
私は怖かったんだ。お前がまた傷つく姿を見るのが。けどそれはお前を大切に思うこととは違っていた。頑張っている娘を応援しようともせず、カゴの中へ閉じ込めようとしていた。すまなかった。
Kotori stared at her father's bowed head.
私こそごめんなさい。大事なことを黙っていて。お父さんたちがどんなに心配するか分かってたのに。
いいんだ。そうさせてしまったのは私たちだ。お前はもう自分の翼で飛べる。なのにそれを認めようとしなかったのだから。
As her father spoke, tears began to well in Kotori's eyes. But instead of crying, she began to smile.
早く帰ろう。
え？
だってお母さんが待ってるんでしょ。早く安心させてあげたい。
いいのか？
夏休みの間だけなら。
ああ、そうしてくれると嬉しい。車を取ってくるよ。
He sprinted off towards the car. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would go sprinting. He was so happy that he nearly tumbled over a rock as he
お
ran.
姉ちゃんもいっぱい心配かけてごめんなさい。そんなことはいいのよ。小鳥ちゃんが無事なら。どうだった？見てくれてたんでしょ？ええ、かっこよかったわ。さすがは私の小鳥ちゃんだわ。ちょっと怖かったけど。慣れればどうってことないわ。あ、そうだ、今度後ろに乗せてあげる。
Kotori's big grin seemed to draw a smile out of Hibari.
ちょっとお父さんとお話ししてくるわね。
As Hibari said that, Kotori began looking around for someone. What's wrong?
あ、いた。
Kotori sped her wheelchair over to the person she was looking for.
あまねちゃん。いやー、小鳥見ててくれた？ああ、見てたぞ。あんまり高いからよく見えなかったけどな。飛んだよ、私たち。モーニンググローリーを。
Above it.
ああ、すごく綺麗だった。あまねちゃんにも見せてあげたかったな。私はいいよ。雲の上から下を見るなんて想像しただけでゾッとするぞ。なんでよ。あまねちゃんの夢だったんでしょ？私じゃない、いつかの夢だ。それにもう叶った。君たちが叶えてくれた。いつかと飛ぶはずだったあのグライダーをあの場所まで運んでくれたんだから。
Kotori gave me a timid look. Her eyes seemed to be asking what was going on. I answered with a nod and a smile. Kotori grinned herself.
じゃあこれでいいんだね。ありがとう、小鳥。葵くん。
As Amane cracked a smile, Kotori broke into full laughter.
ねえ、葵。
Huh.
ちょっとの間だけ東京に帰るね。
Ah, that's a good idea. Let your parents spoil you for a while.
そうする。寂しいからって浮気しちゃダメよ。
Like I'd do that.
お父さん、どうしたの？
いつの間にか小鳥は自分の居場所を自分で作っていたんだな。
そうね。風ヶ浦の人たちはみんな親切でいい人ばかりよ。
ああ、私たちはもっと強くならないといけないのかもしれない。小鳥を見守る親として。小さなカゴの中に押し込めてしまうにはあの子の翼は大きすぎるんだ。
いつまでも悲しんでばかりはいられないわ。私たちも前へ進まないと。
ああ、
お父さん、お姉ちゃん、早く帰ろう。帰りましょう。
ああ。
With that, Kotori got into the car and the family drove off. However, since her suspension was issued on the last day of summer vacation, she stayed at home throughout it. The days passed. Kotori, wake up. Breakfast is almost ready. Well, it's already ready. Hey, Kotori.
おはよう。今何時
？7:42. Breakfast's ready. Come on, get changed and come eat.
いただきます。
Fully awake, Kotori began to shove her breakfast down her throat.
はい、あとカカ
Hat went over to Kotori and started eating something. I know you don't like vegetables, but don't feed them to Hat.
急いでるからよ。
How did you sleep in late? Didn't you set your alarm?
久しぶりに学校行けると思ったら興奮しちゃって、昨日の夜よく眠れなかったのよ。
You got excited to go to school? Apparently by the time she was able to get to sleep, she went ahead and slept right through the alarm. Today our suspension was finally over. Our extra long summer vacation was now over, and our second semester was starting late.
おはようございます、小鳥先輩。おはようございます、ハバネ先輩。おはよう、双子シスターズ。今日もよく似てるわね。
Is that a compliment?
寝坊ですか？珍しいですね。体内時計が狂ってるみたいなのよ。定額になって単位落としてるのに遅刻とかしちゃシャレになんないわ。
You got a bit of a bedhead? Pointed this out to her as she was shoveling food into her mouth. With bowl and chopsticks still in hand, she leaned her head towards me. You're hopeless. Grabbing a brush from the bathroom, I started to fix Kotori's hair. You got really nice hair.
そうでしょう。自慢のサラサラヘアですから。引っかかってる。
Oh, sorry.
もう注意してよね。葵だって嫌でしょ。私の髪が枝毛だらけになっちゃったら。
That would be terrible.
相変わらず容赦のないベタベタっぷりね。朝から殺意を催しそうだわ。いいと思うな、私。ちょっと羨ましいけど。
Literally the exact same, almost, if not the exact same dialogue from the very first, like the very beginning of this route.
ごちそうさま。
I'll clean up while you go get ready. Come on, there's no time. And now it's over. Oh, it's still going. Why is there so much? I got behind Kotori's wheelchair as we exited the building. Let's go, hold on tight.
飛ばせー。待ってくださいよ、先輩。そして相変わらずの無茶っぷり。エネルギーが有り余ってるわね。
How is it still going? Going back to school for the first time in what felt like ages, we were greeted as if we were heroes.
スオアリング部だ。ハバネさんたち帰ってきた。なに写真見たよ。すごい綺麗だった。私らも呼んでほしかった。
The entire class began to gather around us. Suddenly a huge crowd had formed as students from other classes made their way in as well.
おはよう、お二人さん。ハゲハ、これ何なの？定額になってる間に私らのことが話題になってたみたい。こないだ見に来てた人の中にうちの学校の新聞部もいたらしくてさ、ついでに飛岡先生に逆らって定額ってのが新鮮で刺激的だったみたいよ。
Students rarely get suspended from our school. It's not really a school where the bad kids go. Most students have fun and trouble-free years. However, Tobioka's hatred is well known, and us getting suspended was talked about like a heroic story.
ようやく時代が私たちに追いついてきたか。
Don't get too cocky. Being suspended isn't something to be proud of.
分かってるわよ。気分よ、気分。ところで部長、その騒ぎのおかげで入部希望者が続々と集まってるんですが。
Kotori's eyes sparkle.
どうする？部員入れる気あるの？いいわ。ただし生半可な気持ちじゃダメよ。ほほう。というと？
That means exactly what she said.
入部資格は空に恋してるかどうか。そうじゃない人は残念だけど仲間とは認められないわ。そんなやつはあんただけだ。
That's right, don't lump us in with that. It's embarrassing.
なんでよ。みんな恋してないの？
Is it over now? It's still going. Let's put aside Kotori's silly talk for a second. The Soaring Club is in a strange position right now. It goes without saying that Tobioka has been working to keep the Soaring Club abolished. It was originally supposed to have gone smoothly. However, the situation has changed. Morning Glory became a local news story in Kasugawa. It was quite different from the one 27 years ago when the internet and digital cameras weren't widespread. Even a number of videos taken by the crowd ended up on the TV news. So this strange cloud was flown through by some students in a homemade glider. What about that? While we were suspended, the local media contacted the school about doing coverage. This led to the principal as well as the directors learning a lot of the details about what we did. Especially the chairman of the board, that is Azanyoru's grandfather, seemed to be appreciative of all the praise the school was getting. And as a result, the abolishment of the club was postponed. A lot of ideas came up, such as inviting in specialists from outside the club as well as getting some more help. The school itself is apparently going to be expanding into aerospace engineering studies as well, and that very likely played a part. There's no space. It wasn't just the teachers. The students who came to watch that day started up a petition to keep the club from being abolished. In the petition, Akari had written about all that we had done throughout the year and everything that had led up to the flight. On the one hand, I couldn't believe she had written that report, but on the other, it felt great to have her as an ally. Because of this, we found ourselves placed into a strange position. However, it's still not over. This video is as long as 2 videos because I thought it was going to be over like 15 minutes ago. Wouldn't a laid-back Soaring Club be just as good? That is, of course, if the club can still exist. After school that day, as we were chatting while going down the hall to leave, we saw a familiar face in front of the elevator. Amane and Akari were chatting.
違うぞ小鳥。あまねちゃんではなく望月先生だ。新型風車開発プロジェクトの特別講義が今日からだったのよ。ああ、例の。
Are you taking the class, Akari?
ええ。
Only a limited number of students could get in. It was very competitive, but it wasn't surprising that Akari got in.
あまねちゃんも偉くなったもんね。あんたはいつまでも偉そうだな。
I heard about the petition, Akari. Thanks for all your help.
礼を言われるほどのことでもないわ。私は私の信念に基づいて行動しているだけだから。あれだけの実績を残した部がなくなるなんて、慶風学園にとって損失以外の何者でもありませんからね。
Kotori seemed proud of what Akari was saying. She had received a lot of compliments today and was starting to get cocky.
じゃあ、あまねちゃん顧問続けてよ。また一緒に飛びたい。それはごめんだ。
Amane spoke bluntly and laughed. Kotori frowned.
なんでよ。もう飛ぶのはゴリゴリだ。それに私も一応大人だから責任は取らないといけない。
Amane was the one who took responsibility for Kotori's accident. Basically, the Soaring Club was losing its representative. It was unfortunate, but probably for the best. This would take away all of her responsibility for the glider.
寂しい。でも君たちが飛び続けるなら時々覗かせてもらうつもりだ。君たちと何かするのは楽しいからな。
Amane's honesty shocked us. Akari actually seemed a bit jealous of us.
じゃあな、君たち。さようなら、先輩。またね、望月先生。
Bye. It's not over, is it? Nope, of course not.
ただいま。
We headed directly back to the dorm after school.
ただいま、ハット。今おやつあげるからね。
I'm not stopping this video. If it goes to 3 hours, I'm still doing it. Kotori headed off to the dining hall to get Hat's food. Seems like we're the first ones back. Even though we were on suspension for a while, the students in my dorm tend to take the long way home or have clubs. Usually no one's around at this time. Uh-oh. Don't do it. Don't you dare. Returning to my room, I put down my bag and started changing out of my school uniform. It sure is hot for September. I guess I'll change my t-shirt. All of a sudden, Kotori was peeking through my slightly open door. Hey, when did you become a peeping Tom? How did she even get up there? Is there an elevator I didn't know about? Okay, well, you know what? I'm not ending it, but just in case. If everyone allowed this, Japan would become a pervert's paradise. Implying it isn't already. Saying this, Kotori begins poking through my bookshelf. Yeah, that's because we spent pretty much every free minute in the club this year. I didn't realize how busy it kept us until it was suddenly gone. Busy, sure, but it was so very fulfilling. As we talked, I decided to just change my t-shirt. Don't do it. Kotori was looking at my naked upper body. Have I? I wasn't sure how to respond, but I couldn't help but be a little happy. Actually, while I'd been suspended from school, I started cycling again. Yeah, let's just take a bike ride and end it there. That day I chased after you, I really overdid it, though. My knee started hurting again. Kotori began to look extremely worried. I went to the hospital and got it checked out. They said it was nothing to worry over. They said as long as I didn't overdo it, it'd be alright for me to ride. It'd be fine as long as I didn't race, they said. So, since I haven't been getting much exercise, I started going out on little excursions. There's really nothing else to do. School is still deciding what to do about the soaring club, and the winch is still being repaired. All we can do is wait. Letting out a sigh that said nothing about her feelings, Kotori stared at the bicycle in the corner of the room. How was home? I still hadn't heard the details of her time home. Kotori only came back last night. This was the first time we were together since then. How's your mother doing? Yeah, so does the rest of your family. I need a drink. This is the mother who Kotori had decided to quit school and go home for. Well, that's just because she worries about you, right? Did you talk to her about the glider? Considering how she sounds, I doubt she'll be so easily persuaded. The only thing to do is keep being persistent. And they're gonna let you stay here? Huh. Hard to believe he'd say that after how much he wanted to take her back home. She was completely serious. I guess that could be the case. That view did bring out an excitement in some people from deep down within. But in this situation, witnessing your daughter reach a goal would be the biggest thing, I think. Really? Well, that's good, especially since you're not that far of a drive away. About me. She nodded. He was saying what a promising young fellow you were. What? What? What does that mean? I think I messed up a bit there. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna meet her mother. Even though I know it's just a simple meeting, it still makes me nervous. No, it wasn't. We biked together. Didn't we? Well, didn't we bike together, or was I just imagining that? Or was like that some kind of a fever dream I've had? Oh, she's not gonna make a blush sound effect. She turned red and started to look
あまり
nervous.
かっこいいからこの間なんて
Oh
目
no.
に見ちゃったくらいよ。
Really, what kind of dream?
いやそれは内緒です。
What, you won't tell me?
ダメ、企業秘密。
Good. What company? Kotori came closer and gazed at me.
こんなかっこいい男の子が私の彼氏だなんてまだ信じられないわ。何かの手違いじゃないかしら。
What do you mean mistake? Do you still think I don't care about you?
じゃあ会えない間に私の夢見た？見てないんだ。やっぱり好きじゃないんだ。
I did, of course I did.
じゃあなんで即答できないわけ？別に私に恋焦がれてなかったんでしょ？
Oh, that's cause its content is a bit hard to say up front. Then don't say. Let's go for a bike ride. Especially the perverted part. Never Kotori worriedly looked up at me.
本当に見た？
Yes, I did. Serious.
どんな夢？
Well, it was not taking any risks. I kneeled down and looked Kotori in the eyes. I kissed her. This kind of a dream. Oh
そ
no.
れだけ？
Are you just saying that even though you know what I mean?
わかんないよ。
Even though you know what I'm... Okay. I brought her body close to mine.
葵。
Kotori hugged me back, and then I lifted her up, and then... okay, well, you know what, let's, Yeah, okay, well, yeah, you guys can look at this black screen for a little while. I'm gonna skip through this. Alright, yeah, yep, Oh, whoops, I went a little bit too far. Okay. Let's go back to that. Are we almost done? How long is this? You're glad no one found out. Okay, well, I think we don't need to see what they said before that. We understand.
今日のはちょっと危なかったわね。
Every time is a bit dangerous. Every time is a bit dangerous in this game.
すごく良かった。
She blushed.
葵、すごいいっぱい出したよね。
Okay.
まだお腹の中に入ってる感じするもん。
Okay. Sorry, must be because we haven't met in
こ
over
れ
a
で
week.
1ヶ月とか会えなかったらどうなっちゃうんだろう。爆発して死んじゃうかも。
Possibly. Feels like it could actually happen.
そっか、それは困るな。
She said to herself softly, then she looked straight at me. What?
いや、かっこいいなと思って。
Man, yeah, this music fits. It doesn't fit.
エッチすると相手のこともっともっと好きになっちゃうものなのね。
Okay, you know what? Hold on just one moment. Hold on just one moment. I'm overwriting that one. Let's go back to this black screen. Okay, I saved. Let's just skip through this and see how long it goes for. It's still going. It's still going. It's still going. Okay, it ends in... Oh my god, this is so long. There's gonna be like 5 videos in one. Okay, let's go. Let's go back to this. I should hope so. Can we, like, go away from this conversation as expected? What we did was an expression of love, okay? I show my love for the other, and the other feels it, and when we become one, the feelings emanate, okay? I sat down next to Kotori, and we both looked up at the leisurely drifting clouds in a clear sky. I want to fly. Whenever I look up the sky, I get that feeling, especially when I'm with Kotori.
葵、あの時迎えに来てくれてありがとう。
No problem.
サイに気づいてくれないんじゃないかって思ってた。
She was talking about the SOS she had sent, the plain nondescript paper airplane. No, I didn't get it at first, but then I remembered the first time we met.
本当はあんなサイン出すつもりなかったんだけど、気がついたら紙飛行機を折ってお姉ちゃんに渡してた。
Kotori asking me to help her was basically her choosing flying over family. That is not something she could have said. Instead, she put her feelings into that paper airplane and had me go to her.
葵が気づいてくれたおかげでモーニンググローリーを飛ぶことができた。もし葵がいなかったら私は今ここにいないだろうし。 多分空を見上げることももうできなくなってたと思う。
Why? That's the one thing she said she could do.
きっと高い高い空を見上げるたびに飛べない自分を思い知らされてたと思うの。そうしてそのうち見上げることもやめてしまってたと思う。でももう私は飛んだし自分は飛べるんだって知ってる。他の普通の人たちよりも少しだけ大変かもしれないけどね。
Took back my future. At some point, Kotori had begun looking straight up at the apex of the sky. I felt like Kotori was always looking up higher than I was. Noticing her doing this, I set my eyes at the same spot hers were looking at. I was thankful for Kotori as well.
それでね、実はね。
Kotori was suddenly mumbling.
もう一つお話ししなきゃいけないことがあるの。
A timid look on her face caused me to brace myself. Did something happen while you were at home? Something had happened.
なんかね、見つかったらしいの。
Found what?
手術できる病院が。
Huh? At first I didn't know what she was talking about. When I realized a moment later, I could barely believe it. By surgery, you mean... Man, look how pixelated that is. I looked down at Kotori's legs. She nodded. Then she stretched out an arm towards me, took her hand in my own, and was trembling slightly. Are you scared? Kotori nodded.
もしダメだったら確率 0% になっちゃうもん。
Losing that possibility of recovery was the same as losing all hope. It would be better to have that hope, even if it wasn't real. It's okay, I'll be there with you. Nothing will change, even if it's not a success. But Kotori shook her head.
無理よ。
Why?
アメリカだから。
Gross. Oh my god, that's gonna be so expensive? Huh?
手術を受けるにはアメリカに行かなきゃいけないの。
Oh, I see. Yeah, have fun with your no money. For a moment I thought about going with her.
怖いけど頑張ってくるね。
Her tone was anxious as she gazed at me with tear-filled eyes.
私やっぱり葵と手をつないでデートしたいから。
I was shocked to hear this news, shocked to the point of trembling, but I concealed my feelings and held Kotori's shaking hand. It's not over, by the way. I think there's still more. However, the surgery would not be performed right away. Kotori's situation wasn't urgent, and since it was a famous doctor, there was a waiting list. In the meantime, Kotori got her passport and school leave sorted out. She went to America 2 months later. The surgery was a success. Okay, well that was kind of anticlimactic. You just... okay, there was no build-up, no nothing. It's just like it was... it was a success. The feeling had returned to Kotori's legs. Knowing the chance of success, it was nothing short of a miracle. However, the real challenge was only just beginning. After returning home, she began her days of grueling rehabilitation. Once again, she was feeling the pains of not being able to do things she could once do. However, Kotori Habane is not the sort to give up that easily. After months of rehabilitation, she was able to stand herself up on crutches. Okay, that's again pretty anticlimactic. During that time, we became seniors, and the new freshmen started at Keipu. Man, a lot of stuff is happening in this white screen. Then, just around the time when summer was about to start. Today is my first flight in a long time. When I arrived at the runway, someone was already waiting there. I like those arm-leg things. She's like a cyborg now. Standing there on crutches, she looked more like an adult than a girl. After a sudden wind blew her long hair, she tucked it behind her ears. She looked completely natural. But her eyes were just like that of a child. An impatient look twinkled in her eyes as she gazed at the far-reaching horizon. I want to fly right now. I heard it in my head as real as day.
Aoi!
Hey, you're already here.
コンディションを見ておこうと思って。
Condition. Seems pretty good.
気持ちのいい風が吹いてきたわ。いいサーマルも出てそうだし、絶好のフライト日和ね。
Yep. End of summer is the one time a year when vertical drafts are most likely to occur. Clear day like today is the best for flying. You're gonna fly today, right?
1年どもに空を飛ぶことの何たるかを教えてやらないといけないからね。
Ah, quit it with that sappy talk, it's annoying.
嘘、なんでよ。
I know there just aren't many people like you who can say that they love this guy.
最近の若いもんは
3 years younger than us, and you sure can feel the generation gap.
私らも年取ったわね。
It was a joke, but it had been 2 years since we first met. So many things happened during that time. Too many things, it's impossible to believe all those things happened in only 2 years.
後輩らにもちゃんと教えてあげなくちゃ。私らが空に憧れたような熱い気持ちをさ。
Oh yeah, that's right. A dream handed down from Amane. Spent that entire year with one goal in our mind. It was a completely irreplaceable year. One of the dreams had been realized. However, the sky still went on higher and higher without end. Oh yeah, Amane said she'd come by today to watch.
本当に？よーし、いいとこ見せなくっちゃ。
The grass waved as the wind cut through the runway. The wind blowing over the lake was one unique to Kazagawa. Our wings give us the power to
断
fly.
面イズクリア。ウィンチ準備完了。
Winchy. Preparations are all done here.
よーし、行くわよ、小鳥。いいわよ、あげて。
Hello? We're flying. Spread out our white wings and flew towards anywhere underneath the vast blue sky. Okay. Hello? Oh, thank Crom, it's finally over. God, I thought that was going to end 30 minutes ago. Alright, well, it's over, okay? Is it? Oh, thank you. Okay, well, that is all for this video. Next up is Oz's route, and according to people, Amane's route is pretty bad. So I might not even do it after seeing this one. So it'll be Ozza next, and then I'll probably do the other one that's not Amane. So, thank you for watching. If you managed to watch this far, then I commend you, because you are a trooper. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.